It was a celebration of heritage, a look back at 100 years. The Via Rail train that normally leaves the station for Prince Rupert carried with it some history today, and that has attracted Canadians from far afield.
It was an auspicious departure. Train 6449 makes the trip to Prince Rupert from Prince George 3 days a week. This particular trip, however, attracted people from all across the country, like Ontario native Frank McCurdy, who's never ridden a train and has never been farther west than Thunder Bay.
Great way to travel, the train, more room than on a bus or an airport, an airplane, and yeah, I would have preferred a little bit more into spring. We've been winter all the way. But that's fine. It's winter in Canada, so.
But there's more to this story than a trip from Toronto. This train will make a special stop at Fort Fraser to mark the 100th anniversary of the last spike driven home in the Grand Trunk Pacific Rail line.
These people are Canadians from Nova Scotia, Toronto, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, all kind of pulled out here to enjoy the history, enjoy the 100th anniversary of the last spike of the Grand Trunk Pacific. Some would say the vision that Charles Melville Hayes had with the line and everything else. So that's who these people are, lovers of Canadian history.
We had a gentleman come on, gave us a little talk on the train that grew up with the steam engines his whole life, driving planes, trains as a conductor. And he filled us in a lot on the politics of the trains and over the years.
The Grand Trunk Pacific Rail line was a 4,800-kilometre line that ran between Winnipeg and Prince Rupert. It was the line that opened up the northern interior to the rest of the country and is in large part the reason Prince George has become the hub it has.
The draw is Canada by rail. The draw is the fun. A lot of histories of Canadians that are lovers of Canadian history, and they're all passionate about history, and they want to travel by rail and again experience Canada by rail. The real fun of it is we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the last spike of the Grand Trunk Pacific.
While most of the passengers are train buffs or history buffs or both, that isn't the case for everyone.
Not particularly. I did enjoy history in high school, but yes, a lot of them on the train are train buffs, really. We hear a lot of conversation as we're sitting in the seats, and somebody all of a sudden like, oh yes, you were on those engines and driving those and stuff, one thing and another, and yeah, it's quite interesting.
Where past meets present for more than 100 stalwart passengers traveling thousands of kilometres to be a part of Canadiana. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.